Well, Coach, big night obviously for Serena. How important was it for you to have her out there to be able to get a triple double?
Oh, I think this. Normally, I think if a kid gets that close, you try to give him a chance, within reason. And because of the short bench tonight, it really wasn't. We were giving her a chance, but we were just kind of rotating those players through. And she's a heck of a player. So she's come close before. She fills up a stat line, and she's that kind of player that has that ability.
And just what does it mean to have her, with everything she's accomplished so far and done for your team, to have her in her senior year be able to get that accomplishment?
It tells you how hard it is to get, right? When the last one was 2009, right? It's not easy. And it usually comes from a player like her that has the ability to do a lot of things, so it's great for her. She's had a really good week, but she's had a really good start to the season here, and I think she's doing a lot of things for our team.
We've heard you say that what we're seeing Taryn do the past few games isn't anything different than what you see in practice. What is it about her that has allowed her to be such a successful shooter in games the past few games here?
Well, I think our ball movement's really pretty solid. I think that Taryn put the work in this summer, as I've said numerous times in here. We saw it all summer. We saw it against our practice squad guys. We saw it against really good practice competition. As I've said numerous times, I wanted her to hunt more. And I think she's got the right mentality right now. And I think she knows that even if it doesn't matter if it's the right shot, I want her shooting it, make or miss. And she's got that confidence right now. And I'm a big believer that when players put the work in, there's a confidence that comes with that. And I was asked earlier about the growth of a player, and they were specifically asking me from that first year to that second year, and we're seeing that with both Walker and Sides. But the commonality of those two is they put the work in. And if you do that, you got a really good chance for good things to happen.
Overall, what did you like? What did you maybe not like about your team's performance today?
I don't know if there was a lot not to like, honestly. It's a hard, we're not trying to embarrass a team. They've had injuries. We don't play our All-American, we don't play lead a night. We know that they've had injuries. But we're also not trying to develop bad habits and not try to not come in here and not respect the game. And so what I was pleased with is I think for the most part we had active hands. We were in the gaps defensively. If I said that we were building the wall at 21 feet, we pretty much had a good awareness there. Offensively, I thought we made the right plays. We were able to play a little bit of zone in the fourth that we haven't spent much time on. So those were the positives.
Imani Lester had 6 steals tonight.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Is that something out of the blue for you, or is that something you're seeing with her defensively, is that she's able to be disruptive?
It's a little out of the blue, but I will say this about Imani. Her effort's much better than it was, so she's making plays. She's like a lot of high school centers, and I consider her last year a high school center. They only want to play in certain areas of the floor, and as I've told our centers when they get here, you're a basketball player. Stop saying this is my area, because in today's game, you have to be able to defend pick and pop shooters. You have to be able to defend the ball screen out higher. You have to be able to defend different actions than the game 10, 15 years ago. And I think Imani has grown into that. You saw her block the shot, block the three-pointer with 4 seconds to go or whatever. And and she's just learned to play a lot harder.
And Eliza, we've seen her some games plays a few minutes, some games she goes out and has double figures. What have you seen from her? How do you like how she's fitting into her role?
Yeah, I think her activity's better, and she's running the floor much harder than she was 2 weeks ago. She's getting involved offensively quicker. Obviously, with Sanchez not being available right now, she's getting more opportunities. But she keeps doing those things. That's what we know she's capable of, right? And she steps on the floor, and she's already one of the top athletes on the floor every night. But she's been inconsistent in her commitment to running the floor like we want her to. And when she does it, good things tend to happen for Eliza.
Once upon a time you recruited Serena to K-State, and now she's a senior. Can you kind of give us a sense just for what that process has been like and what it is like now in her senior season to be able to have such success and give the team success?
Yeah, when she stepped onto campus, she was ready in a lot of ways. Competitive nature, coachable, obviously had the skill, needed to get in the weight room, needed to learn to play through contact, needed to learn as a big guard how to play against pressure defense. But you look back to her freshman year, I mean, she leads that team, and I see lead. Obviously, Lee was the leader, but if you're a point guard, you have to lead. Mm-hmm. And she led that team to the NCAA tournament. We got a first-round victory. She did a lot of really good things that year. I think where she's grown in all the vocal areas, all the things that you want a player to have an awareness of, players tend to have, when they're younger, they only have awareness of their surroundings. And let's be honest, this age group, that's kind of their deal anyways, right? As they grow, they start to realize this impacts this impacts this. And I think Serena's a great example of just, she's so coachable. She's such a great teammate. She obviously has a lot of ability, but you're seeing all of that continue to just get better and better.
You hear names float around women's college basketball and the achievements that they have each night. Do you believe Serena maybe belongs in that conversation with those players that people talk about nightly?
I think that Serena nationally is very underrated. But when people see her, they really have a greater appreciation. And I can tell you that those are the conversations, whether it be with TV commentators that see her for maybe the first or second time, WNBA people that have her on the radar. You see her pop up in mock drafts or whatever. Other coaches, the more film they watch, they're like, wow, this is a player that impacts every area. And we've seen it from day one, but we're seeing it more now. Mm-hmm. The growth of Sides, the growth of Walker, the continued play of Jalen Glenn has allowed Serena to just move all over the floor, and that's been a big benefit to us and to her.
She's done so much. Just my final question is, what's the next step for Serena Sundell?
Well, I think to continue to play, I think it's to continue to handle pressure defense better.
Okay.
To continue to handle pressure defense and be able to play through that defensively is something that as a player that we need the ball in our hands, okay? In that game, be able to punish the defense, be able to stay composed. That's the next step for her. But I like the path she's on, and I feel like she's made those improvements in practice all the time. So I feel like she's doing the things necessary to do that.